like salmon, fish, and bamboo. Bamboo basically flowers or reproduces every 100 years. So once, like every 100 years, so like they reproduce only once in their life. While
Ma'am,
others, they
ma'am, do butterflies live only for one day? Is it true?
do butterflies
Live only for one day,
1 week,
1 week, right?
1 week. 1 day,
Okay.
though only bacteria survives 1 day and then dies
Hmm.
mostly. So that's the case. And while other organisms, they breed many times in their lifespan, such as most mammals, most birds, they breed all through their lifetime. Now, there are some organisms that are going to produce large number of small size offspring. Large number means like 10, 15 numbers of organisms, but the size will be very tiny, like
Hmm.
oysters, pelagic fishes. While others would produce a small number but a large size organism, like birds and mammals.
Hmm.
So, which would be desirable for maximizing the fitness? Again, you cannot relate anyone because, like those organisms that breed only once, they have their own unique characteristics. Those that breed
Hmm.
several times, they have their own. So you can't compare like that. So
Hmm.
ecologists suggest that life history traits of organisms, they have evolved in relation to the constraints imposed by the abiotic and biotic components of their habitat. Evolution of life history traits in different species. It is currently an important area of research being conducted by ecologists. Clear?
Hmm.
Now the actual thing of the chapter, from where the questions get asked, is the population interaction. This is very important, very interesting also.
Hmm.
See, if any organism is living in the world, it's impossible that that particular organism will not interact with any other organism. It's
Hmm.
impossible. Every organism, one way or the other, interact with each other, right?
Hmm.
And apart from that, and apart from interaction, for survival also, if there is one species, it can't survive alone. It has to have different species as well. For example, if
Hmm.
it is a carnivorous
Mutualism.
species, so it needs some other species on which it can feed. It needs
Hmm.
plants. So that's the case. No organism, no species, no group can live alone. For any species, the minimal requirement is one more species on which it can feed upon. Even a plant species which makes its own food, they cannot survive alone. Can you tell me why?
Because they need someone like, okay, first of all, their population will grow very, very high if no one feeds on them. Second, uh,
Population will
uh,
not go high.
no, wait, what was the question? What was the question?
The question is
Uh,
that even the plants can't survive alone, despite the fact that they make their own food and all that shebang, but still they can't survive alone. Why? I think the answer is
because
very
there is
obvious.
a food chain
Mhm.
which has to be followed.
No, think in simple terms.
Simple terms.
Very simple, very basic thing that a plant requires in order to reproduce and grow number.
Pollination.
How will
Okay.
the plant be pollinated, right? So that's the
Yes.
apart from pollination also, you know that in the soil there are so many microorganisms, there are so many insects that move around in the soil and they loosen the soil and they provide the plant with nutrients. So how will the plant get that also? So that is why there
Mm.
is no organism that can live alone. Everyone is dependent on each other in some other way. So even in minimal communities, many interactive linkages exist, although not apparent, but it will be there. So interspecific interaction. Interspecific means inter means in between. Specific refers to the species. So the reaction in between the two species is interspecific interaction. And yeah, so this could be beneficial. Like for example, one species, another species, both of them are interacting. Case number one, both of them are interacting, both of them are benefited. Case number 2, both of them are interacting, one is benefited, one is not benefited, meaning harmful for another. Case number 3, one is benefited, other is neither harmed nor benefited. Case number 4, both of them are harmed. Clear? These are the various cases. So this right here. Species A, when species A is benefited, species B is benefited. So that kind of an interaction wherein both these species get benefits out of each other, we call that as mutualism, mutualistic relationship. When both of them get a negative impact, that is competition, right? When two species compete for anything, both of them are going to get hurt. So that's competition. When one derives benefit and the other derives harm, that is predation, parasites, right? Plus and minus situation. It could be like you can interchange it also, but the meaning will stay the same. When one species is benefited and the other one is neither benefited nor harmed, so we put a 0. So that is commensalism. And last one, when one is harmed, the other is neither benefited nor harmed. So that is amensalism. Clear? So these are the different kinds. These are the 6 types of interactions that you have to study. 6, no?
What is amensalism again? Where?
Amensalism is where one species. What happened?
One species?
One species, like when two species are interacting, one species is getting harmed by that interaction, while the other species is not getting harmed, nor is it getting any benefit.
How is, okay.
Okay, this is a kind of interaction, okay? Like, for example, we'll see. Both the species benefit in mutualism and both lose in competition, right? In both parasitism and predation, only one of them gets the benefit, that is either the parasite and the predator. And the interaction is detrimental, it's harmful to the other species, such as the host and the prey. The reactions where one species is benefited and the other, this is the same exact thing that there is only in language. Now, predation. Predation, you know already. One organism is going to feed on another organism. So the organism that is feeding is the predator. And the one that it is feeding upon is the prey. So predator and the prey, right? Now, predation is actually a nature's mechanism to keep checks on the number of population as well. Other than that, it is also another way of transferring energy from one level of food chain to another level of food chain. Okay? When we think of the predator and prey, mostly the picture that comes to our mind is the tiger eating the deer, right? But if you think about a sparrow eating any seed, then that is also predation. If you think about a bird eating worms, that is also predation, right? Although animals eating plants, they are categorized separately as herbivores, but they are also predators. We are also predators for that, right? So, besides acting as conduits for energy transfer to the next trophic level,
everyone is a predator, right?
Yeah.
Like,
one way or the other, everyone's, except for the plants, everyone's a predator.
Plant also, right? It like takes up the soil, nutrients and all.
But soil is not living organism.
But like it still takes, right? So like.
So soil is abiotic. If you think
Yeah,
about parasitic plants,
yeah,
insectivorous plants, then they are predators.
no, but like for like certain. Okay, okay, yeah.
We are talking about species interaction. Understood?
Yeah.
The soil is not a species.
No, but like the microbes over there, even they need those nutrients. So then the microbes and the plants will have like.
Is the plant taking up microbes? No, na?
No.
Predation is one organism eating another organism. The
Yeah.
microbes is
No,
not
yeah,
eating
yeah.
the.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, apart from acting like a conduit for the energy transfer, predators play other important roles as well. They keep the prey population under control. But for
Ma'am, what is
predators, conduit is like a state in which is there. It's like a transition state from one state to
oh,
another, and this state will transfer it to the next. That like that.
oh, like one trophic level to another trophic level, like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Uh,
Understood. This much is clear.
yeah.
So talking about what is the function of the prey. So prey is basically like it is going to keep the prey, predator is going to keep the prey species in control. But the thing is that, like even if the prey gets a field full of its prey, predator gets a field full of the prey, then also it's not going to eat all. Why? Because we say that the predators, they are prudent. They know that if they eat everything at once, nothing will be
Uh,
left for them for the future. Right? And
huh.
they also know that if I eat everything, it will disbalance the nature. So predators are said to be prudent in nature. They know they are calculated. Okay?
That's smart. Okay.
They're very smart. So, but for predators, the prey species could achieve very high population densities and cause ecosystem instability also. So, when
Hmm.
certain exotic species are introduced into the geographical area, they become invasive. They start invading that area, and then that particular land doesn't have its natural predator. So, in that case,
Hmm.
the particular, you can say, population is going to increase a lot. Right.
Hmm.
So one such example is when the prickly pear cactus was introduced into Australia in the year 1920s, it caused a havoc by spreading rapidly into millions of hectares of rangeland. Imagine. Now, how did you bring that? Because you can't go around cutting everything, right? You can't go around cutting every single cactus. So you have to basically
Like a
uh,
predator.
you have to introduce a predator in that land so that your work will be done. So the
Hmm.
invasive cactus, it was brought under control only after a cactus feeding predator, which was a moth, from its natural habitat, and it was introduced into that country. Biological
Hmm.
control method adopted in agriculture pest control, they are based on the ability of the predator to regulate the prey population, right? So predators, they also help in maintaining species diversity in a community by reducing the intensity of competition amongst prey species. And they're like, okay, so we are eating you just so that you don't fight amongst yourself. So we are eating one of you so that the other could get the food. It's like that. So this is one example. Okay, the prickly pear cactus. Clear?
Hmm.
Now,
Yes,
in
ma'am.
the rocky intertidal area of the American Pacific coast, the starfish called as Pisaster is an important predator. In
Hmm.
a field experiment, when all the starfishes they were removed from that area, then 10 species of invertebrates they became extinct within a year. Why? Because of interspecific competition. Because the predator was removed, the prey
Hmm.
species they start
Oh,
fighting
okay,
for the
okay,
food and
okay. So
everything.
like they had competition between themselves and they all died. Very
Huh.
nice.
So that
Okay.
is why, just so that they do not fight among themselves, someone should be there to eat them up. Clear?
Wow. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, could you tell the definition of prudent again?
Prudent. Prudent is right mindful,
Mind
calculated.
calculate. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the case. Apart
Hmm.
from that, moving on to next thing, if a predator is too efficient, too quick and easy to superior to catch every kind of prey, So they are going to overexploit the prey, and then the prey will become extinct. Thereby, the predators are going to be extinct because they'll not have any food. That is why I said that the predators are prudent. They are mindful. They are calculated. Right? Prey species, they have evolved various defenses. Acha, talking about the prey, it's not that the prey are helpless. Not that they have
Yeah.
their own battle. They have their own, arms and ammunitions to fight the predator. How? They have evolved various defense mechanisms. For example,
Poison.
some species of insects and frogs, they are
Camouflage.
cryptically colored. They camouflage, right? So that wherever they'll be in the surrounding, they'll blend with the surrounding so that the predator won't be able to see them, right? Cryptically colored. Cryptic, like what is cryptic? Like invisible into that thing, isn't it? Some, like if they can't camouflage, so they are poisonous. So if the predator would come to eat them, the predator itself will die. So all the members of the predator species, they will avoid this particular organism. For example, the monarch butterfly. You know which butterfly is called as the monarch butterfly?
The blue color one?
Which one?
The blue or the
No,
orange
no,
one? Any one of those?
orange one. The
Orange
most
one.
common butterfly with the black spots on the body,
Um,
that is the monarch butterfly. Now, this monarch butterfly is highly distasteful to its predator. One second.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, so the monarch butterfly is very, very.
Speaking of butterfly, I don't know why my teacher told that the butterfly lives for 1 day.
No,
It can't be possible, right? Because see, the butterfly has to go do the whole reproduction process,
no,
leave
she
eggs.
might have said 1 week only. Maybe you have heard wrong.
No, she specifically told 1 day for butterfly. That's why
One
I'm like,
day?
1 day.
No, 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 no. I'm sure 1 week is the least. It can live
One
beyond
week.
that also. 1 day is impossible. 1 day is for microscopic organisms. Even they live long.
So
Even
why? Okay.
bacteria can survive post 48 hours.
Yeah, even Google is telling. Okay. I
So
don't know.
if let's
I,
just say if it is a diseased butterfly, then it would die. But other than that, butterfly they die after a week. 1 week is the least. Like fruit fly, they also die after a week. So 1 week
huh.
is there most for most of the insects. But again, there are many insects that live longer than that. So monarch butterfly is highly distasteful to its predator, that is the bird. So it distasteful meaning it is very bitter. So the birds will
Hmm.
not go to eat it. And why is it
Hmm.
bitter? Why? Because when it is in the caterpillar stage, developing,
It
it can't
eats a
swim.
lot of bitter taste. No, no. Poisonous, no.
Weeds,
Some leaves,
poisonous
some
weeds.
poisonous
It
leaves.
feeds on
Weed,
poisonous
weed, weed leaves.
weed, wild
Weed.
plants.
Yes.
So they develop that. Okay.
Yeah.
For plants, herbivores are the predators, right? So you might, and apart from all of that, phytophagous insects are there. Phyto means plants, phagous means eating. So those insects that eat the plant parts or plant sap, they are the phytophagous insects. So now what happens? Plants, they themselves have evolved various mechanisms. Okay, plants are also not stupid. They have evolved
Hmm.
various mechanisms, if you ever go to pluck a flower mostly, you'll get stung by the thorn or the spikes that it has, right? So they also have a lot of morphological and chemical defenses like thorns, like acacia, bougainvillea, cactus. These are having thorns in the form of defense. Many
Hmm.
plants store chemicals that make the herbivores sick when they eat them, right? One such thing is Calotropis plant that grows in mostly the abandoned field. Let me see how it looks like. Oh, this one. We had such myths about this plant. This one.
Ah, this one.
Have you seen this one in
This
real life?
gives a poison, no? No, no, no. See.
You know, like back when I was young, so we used to be so scared of this plant because it, like, our locality had a lot of these plants. This is a weed only. So, you know, we used to think that whoever will touch the flower and that person will get blind, will lose the eyesight. But that's not the case. But yes, it does produce a lot of toxic substances, particularly cardiac glycosides. It's scarier than that. Cardiac glycosides. It will
That's
stun
what.
and stop the heart of the insect or the cattle or the goat that is eating them. Clear?
Okay. Yep.
A wide variety of chemical substances that we extract from plant. They are the secondary metabolites of that plant, isn't it? Like nicotine, caffeine, quinine, strychnine, and opium. All of these are secondary metabolites, meaning the plants are synthesizing this as a defense against any other organism. As humans, we are so intelligent. We take everything and anything that is useful. So that's it. Coming on to the next type of interaction. Understood this thing, predator kind of interaction. The first interaction is clear.
Yeah.
Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So yeah, so I was talking about the next kind of interaction, that is competition, which is negative kind of interaction. So here, when Darwin spoke of the struggle for existence and the survival of the fittest, he was talking about reproductive fitness, right? All in all. It is generally believed that competition occurs when closely related species, they compete for the same resources that are limited. But that's not the case. Unrelated species can compete for the same resource. For example, in some shallow South American lake, the visiting flamingos and the resident fishes, meaning the fishes that already live in the lake, they compete for their common food, that is zooplankton. So flamingos also eat zooplankton, fishes also eat zooplankton. Fishes are different organisms, flamingos are different, so they are competing for the common food resource, but they are totally unrelated to each other. Secondly, the resources need not to be limiting for the competition to occur. It doesn't mean that the resources are less, then only competition will happen. No. Even if the resources are a lot in abundance, then also the competition could happen. Okay, and
Why would there be competition? I mean,
see, it depends upon, like, for example, if the resources are enough, but still the number of organisms are more, then also competition is going to happen. Like that. Understood? So the feeding efficiency of one species might be reduced due to interfering and inhibitory presence of other species, even if resources such as the food and space are abundant. Therefore, competition is best defined as a process in which the fitness of one species, that is measured in terms of its intrinsic rate of increase, if it is significantly lower in the presence of another species, then we say that a competition will occur. It is relatively easy to demonstrate in laboratory experiments, as Gauss and other experimental ecologists did. When resources are limited, the competitively superior species will eventually eliminate the other species, right? This is called as competitive exclusion, but it is not always conclusive. because strong and persuasive circumstantial evidence does exist, however, in some cases. For example, the abundant tortoise in Galapagos Island, it became extinct within a decade after the goats were introduced on that island. Why? Because the goats, they had this efficiency of eating faster. Tortoises are slower eating. Right. Another evidence for the occurrence of competition in nature comes from what is called as competitive release. What is it? A species whose distribution is restricted to a small geographical area because of the presence of a competitively superior species is found to expand its distributional range when the species is removed. Like for example, a field is there in which there was a very dominant species A that had very quick eating capability, and the species B was just confined in this area. But if you remove the species A out, now the species B gets fully chewed. Now the species B increases a lot in number, realizes its full potential. So Connell's elegant field experiment showed that on the rocky sea coasts of the Scotland, the larger and competitively superior barnacle, Balanus, it dominates the intertidal area and excludes the smaller barnacle, Cathamellus, from that zone. Again, because it is bigger, it is better, and it is superior. So in general, herbivores and plants appear to be more adversely affected by competition than carnivores. This much is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Then Gauss's competitive exclusion principle. Now this principle...
Ma'am, 1 second. Could you just explain that after the intrinsic R rate presence of another species, just that part again?
See, basically, the whole entire thing is saying that if there are two species competing for the resource, the one that is superior, the one that is stronger, that will override the weaker species, and the weaker species will not be able to grow in that area. But if for an experimental purpose, if you remove that superior species, now the inferior species, because of the absence of the superior species, they're going to get full efficiency to grow and to take over the land. This is what they're saying. Understood?
Okay. Yeah.
Then we have the Gauss's competitive exclusion principle. So this states that two closely related species competing for the same resource, they cannot coexist indefinitely, and the competitively inferior one will be eliminated eventually. But this may be true if the resources are limited, but not otherwise. But again, this is not even possible, right? Because you think about it, coexistence, right? Meaning both of them living in harmony is there. It's a thing, right? Wherein two species, they will evolve a mechanism wherein both of them would do this function called as resource partitioning. They will like, okay, you take this much of the land and you feed here. I'll take this much of the land and I'll feed here. You'll not come in my land, I'll not go in your land. This is resource partitioning. And since these are animals we're talking about, so they are not like human beings, they're not Beman. If they say that I'll live on this land, so they'll live on that land. They'll not try to acquire the others. But human beings, what they'll do? Okay, I have my land. Let me acquire that person's land. This is what happens. Animals are better than humans. So if two species compete for the same resource, they would avoid competition by choosing, for instance, different time for feeding or different foraging patterns. Okay, they'll be like, okay, I eat the lower plants. You have a longer neck, you eat the higher plants. Like that. You don't come on the lower plants, I'll not go on the higher plants. Like that. So MacArthur showed that 5 closely related species of warblers living on the same tree were able to avoid competition and coexist because of the behavioral differences. What are warblers? Birds. Ah, so pretty. These are warblers. So several different species of the same birds, when they live on the tree, they have different patterns. Like someone would take up eating seeds, someone would take up eating fruits, someone would take up eating insects, like that. Okay?
Yeah.
Then comes parasitic. Now, parasitic again, plus minus. One is the parasite, other is the host. Host is always in problem, parasite is enjoying its life. So, parasitic mode of life ensures free lodging and meals. They don't have to pay, they don't have to work, they don't have to do anything. See, it's written free lodging and meals. It's like an Airbnb, free. So it's not surprising that parasitism has evolved so many taxonomic groups from plants to higher vertebrates. Now, see, even though the parasites are having the time of their lives, feeding upon the host or inside the host, but they have evolved the mechanism wherein they will lose all the important body parts or all the unimportant body parts. Like, for example, if there is an endoparasite that has to live inside the body of the host, particularly the digestive system. So these parasites, they will lose their digestive system. They're like, बना बनाया खाना मिल रहा है, क्यों ही यहाँ पे टेंशन करें? Losing their digestive system. Now, since they have to get attached onto the digestive system, so instead they are going to develop hooks and suckers so that they can attach there, they can hold there. So many parasites, they have evolved to be host specific, that they will take one host and feed all their life with that. In such a way, both host and parasite tend to co-evolve. Meaning, if the host is developing special mechanism for rejecting the parasite is also evolving and trying to be like, oh, joke's on you, I can even withstand this. Understood? So that's it. So they co-evolve. Co-evolve means they evolve together. Like, for example, in humans only, can you tell me an example of this co-evolution of parasites and host?
Lice.
How are they co-evolving? And
How are
what are
they?
you doing? How are they co-evolving? I'm asking co-evolution example.
So no, I don't know how they're co-evolving. No, they're not co-evolving. Lice is not co-evolving.
Then
With humans.
what example? No? How?
Humans. Oh, the gut bacteria.
Again,
Like
how? You have to tell me the
maybe because I don't know, maybe because like the acidity increases, but then the bacteria they also can like they make themselves higher withstanding towards it.
antibiotic resistance. Remember that?
Oh,
For example, you have gotten a bacterial infection. So you take drugs for that higher dosage of drugs and everything. And bacteria is like, okay, you show me that trick. Let me show you my trick. I am resistant. Nothing works on me anymore. So you evolve, I evolve. That is co-evolution. Okay?
yes, sir.
Hmm.
Ma'am,
So,
is it okay if you can give me 1 second? My mom is calling. I'll just tell her I'm in
huh.
class. Just one
Sure, talk
second.
to her. No problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubts up until now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the parasites, they have evolved special adaptations like adhesive organs, suckers, so that they can cling on to the host, loss of digestive system, high reproductive capacity, and the life cycles of parasites, they are often very complex, involving one or two intermediate hosts. If you remember, malarial parasite is digenetic. It requires two hosts to complete its life cycle, right? So primary, secondary host and everything. So the human liver fluke, which is a trematode parasite, it depends on two intermediate hosts, that is a snail and a fish to complete its life cycle. The malarial parasite needs a vector, mosquito, to spread to other hosts, and it needs the human body for acting like the host. Majority of the parasites, they harm the host. They may reduce the survival, growth, and reproduction of the host and reduce its population density. They might render the host more vulnerable to predation by making it physically weak. Clear?
Hmm.
Parasites that feed on external surface of the host, we call them as the ectoparasites, like the ticks, the lices and everything. These are the ectoparasites. Marine fishes infested with ectoparasitic copepods. They are also ectoparasitic in nature. Cuscuta, which is a parasitic plant. It is found on top of the body. It doesn't have any chlorophyll. So it lives on top of the chlorophyll bearing plants so that as the plants are making their food, the cuscuta is going to absorb it. Clear?
Yeah, this one.
The female mosquito is not considered as a parasite. Can you tell me why?
Because she doesn't do anything for herself.
So you're saying
She's
she's not considered a parasite because she's selfless?
I mean, she does it for that plasmodium.
No. Mosquitoes, they take blood meals.
Yeah, but they do it for their kids, right? Like, I mean, how
Kids,
do I mean, how do I tell it? Like, see, she like um
why is a mosquito not a parasite? That's the question. Kids and
because it doesn't live with the host.
it neither does it live inside the host nor does it live on the host. That's all. That's all.
Okay. Yeah.
She doesn't do it for herself. She is selfless. In contrast, endoparasites are those organisms that live inside the host body, right? Liver,
Hmm.
kidney, lungs, red blood cell, all of that. The life cycle of endoparasites, they're more complex because they are more specialized and they have different kind of, you can say, morphology and anatomy, and like their morphology and anatomy are very, very simplified, while their reproductive potential is increased a lot. So they, like they compromise on their morphology, but they do not compromise on their reproduction. Okay.
Hmm.
Now there is one phenomena very unique called as brood parasitism. Now, this is
Hmm.
a very fascinating example of parasitism in which a parasitic bird lays its egg in the nest of its host and it fools the host, and the host will incubate the eggs thinking that those eggs belong to the host. When the eggs
Incubate.
hatch, incubate means sit on it, like how
Okay.
the birds sit on their eggs now to provide
Why
them
would
with
a
their milk.
bird leave her eggs with another bird?
Because she doesn't want to, you know, incubate them or waste so much time on them. She's like a very negligible. What do you call that word?
Like
Negl.
neglective. Neg.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that. Whatever you want to
Neglective.
say, whatever I want to say, that kind of words. So during the course of evolution, and now they're so unique. Why? Because these parasitic birds and their eggs, they look like the eggs of the host egg. So
Wow.
this reduces, and the best example is crow and cuckoo birds, that is quail. Crow and quail. Crow's egg and quail's egg look very alike. So the quail, they are so cunning because all they have to do is sing. They don't time. They don't have the time to manage their kids. They're so busy with their fancy life. So they keep their eggs in the nest of the crows. And the crows, the poor crows, even though I hate crows, but the crows think that, oh, it's my egg, let's incubate them. And when the bird hatches out of the egg, so that's the case. But the quail bird, it has a lot of fear that maybe the crow would recognize that the bird's egg is not there. So when they will recognize that it is not their egg, so they will reject the egg because it's not their species and stuff. But since it is so unique that hosts like it, like the egg size and color, everything is just like the crow's egg. Clear? Let's see. Even I
So
have
they
it.
will breed it, right? So like
Eh?
they will anyways grow the crow's egg.
Look, I think this is for warbler species. That's
Wait,
not
I have a
happening.
question. How does the quail bird doesn't know how many eggs it reproduced? And magically, like more eggs came in the nest.
I don't think they count, Rita. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
5x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's a. I don't think they count.
Um,
So, that's true.
so
But
they
the main
reject
thing,
come to
huh?
know. They rejected after they come to know.
Huh. They will reject
Huh.
it. But by the time they come to know after the egg hatches, the birds can go out. No. So they are
Mm-hmm.
fooled. And this is called as, what is it called as? It is called as brood parasitism. Okay. When is it observed? It is observed during the breeding season of these birds, that is from spring to summer. Then we have commensalism. This is the interaction wherein one is benefited, the other is neither benefited nor is it harmed. Now the
Right.
orchid that grows as an epiphyte. Epiphyte is like an ectoparasite. Imagine it like that. So orchid plant, it grows on the mango branch and receives the nutrition and everything from the mango, but mango doesn't have any bad impact of that. So that is commensalism. Neither is the mango benefiting. Barnacles, they grow on the back of the whale. They benefit while like the whale is like, cool, fine, it's growing, so growing. The big size doesn't matter. The cattle egret and the grazing.
Mom, will the like suppose there are too many barnacles on the whale, won't it like slow down the whale's, you know,
Have you seen the
speed?
size of the whale? How
Yeah,
can
but like
anything slow down the whale?
way too much. Like see, every part of the okay, I'm being ridiculous, forget it.
Even if every part gets attached with the barnacles, then also the whale won't slow down. See, it's very clean. Oh,
Okay.
I do not like whales. See this.
You don't like whales?
Look, do you like this? I do not like any sea creature. It scares
What?
me. Yeah, it scares me. It's like very uncomfortable to watch. Look at this.
No, yeah. See, when you see whale without the barnacles, they're so pretty.
They're pretty. So you see
Yeah.
how the barnacles look? No, they're huge. I don't like anything that's huge. You see this?
Yeah.
These are not your, the whale's barnacle. Clear? And they are deriving benefit from the whale. How? When the whale moves from one area to another, the barnacles are getting a free ride. Ola,
Mm.
Uber. But the whale doesn't care. Okay?
Barnacles are what? Like, how do they
Insects.
eat? Like, they eat the whales.
You like this?
Yeah, they're so pretty. Look at them.
I don't even like dolphins.
I don't like dolphins. Dolphins are scary.
Dolphins are scary, whales are not scary.
Yeah, whales
You
are
see
not
the
scary.
killer
Dolphins
whale,
are scary.
this even looks like even more like scarier. Look at this. How could you not be scared of this?
Mom, now you're
It is
scaring
no
me
way.
actually because it's
It
like
is
so
scary.
big.
Imagine it's first of all, it's so huge. Second of all, I cannot make out where is the eye, where is the mouth for these, like the blue
I
whale
just
and
like whales because Yunus alayhi salam story is related to it. So, like, I thought, and
that's
like,
why you like whale. The whale
yeah,
engulfed him.
I
Basically
mean,
engulfed him. I like the dua that comes with it, but not
yeah,
the
the dua, exactly. No, see, but
whale.
like, see, logically speaking,
Hmm.
whales, you can like survive a little time over there and all.
What?
Like, you can like survive a little time over there.
Who can survive?
I don't know. I don't
What
like.
are
I
you
mean,
saying? What?
there-
Who can survive?
we humans, if we
What?
get swallowed.
We'll survive inside the whale, maybe.
No, I'm just saying, if you're like
But
drowning
you
and a
know,
whale comes and captures us.
oh God, imagine just imagine.
Unlike, see, that horn thing is there, right, where the water thing comes out.
I
So, like, we could,
know.
like, if.
Come out of that. But imagine you going, first of all, will not, I'll to never will go inside the ocean. But if we go into the ocean and we do get engulfed by it, I will die from the panic that I'm inside a whale. Despite the fact that maybe I would survive inside the whale, but I will die of panic first. Not because of the fact that I'm inside the whale's body or intestine or anywhere. Anyway, but we did get something so amazing out of the calamity. But
Yeah,
anyway,
see, and my logic is very logical. It's
that is why
logical.
you like the whale. I don't like the whale.
Yeah, see.
Acha, very good. Okay, so Barnacle's whale thing is clear. Now
Yeah.
see, cattle, egret, and the cattle. See, you know that whenever the cattle move, you see dust and everything flying, right? Because they are so heavy and when they move, they stir up. So see, this is the picture of a cattle egret, very selfishly being near a cattle. The cattle is not harmed, nor does it benefit. So when the cattle, like a cow or a buffalo, when they'll graze the land, they'll eat the grasses, and when their legs will go forward. So the dust or the insects would fly up. So this bird, which it looks like a snitch, it is going to take that insect and eat. Understood? So
Wow,
wherever the cattle will be
God
moving,
is
it will be moving.
smart.
It even looks snitch. Look at it.
Yeah, yeah, I
And the
can.
poor cow, like, okay, let me eat in peace. So that's the
Yeah.
case. See, the cow, anywhere you open a picture, you will see the cow looking very cute and very calm, and look at that, sneaky. So that's the case. Now, see, it shows that it is waiting for the cow to stand up. Like, dude, please get up. Please eat now, so that I can also. So that's the case. So cattle, egret, and the cattle. This white sneaky thing is the cattle egret. So they move alongside the grazing cattle. So once, like, the cattle moves, they'll catch the insect, and that's it. So like the cattle moves, they stir up and flush out the insects from the vegetation. That helps. Like the egret, they can't forage around. So when the insects comes out, they catch. Another example of commensalism is the interaction of the sea anemone that has stinging tentacles and the clownfish. You know what is a clownfish?
Um,
You know
that
it.
motor
Just
fish.
the
Like
Nemo.
this. Oh, huh? That's a clownfish.
This is a clownfish.
Oh,
Nemo is a clownfish. Okay, so
oh.
see, and these long thingies that you see, these are sea anemone. Sea anemone belongs to which phylum?
Pteridophytes.
Pteridophyte is a plant.
Oh, sorry. I don't remember. I don't
Sea anemones belong to the phylum Cnidaria, Coelenterata.
know. Oh,
So they
Seriously.
have stinging tentacles. These things, they can, shock the prey by stinging them. But these
But why don't
clownfishes,
we shock the...
they live in very close association here. So like they can hide behind them, they can go inside and hide. And if any predator would come, they'll get stung by this.
No, but then how are these clownfishes not being stung? Huh.
Okay, see, it lives among them. Okay, and
Hmm.
see, those are, that is the body of the tentacle. Like it's not the stinging tentacle that there is. The stinging tentacles are inside here. See, inside this. Do you see the tiny dots? They will
Ah,
come outside that if the predator comes. So if the predator
ah.
comes to even attack the clownfish, the tentacles would come
And
out.
how did Nemo's eggs get, I mean, um,
It's
like,
been a while since I watched Nemo actually. What is your question?
like that in that movie, then the eggs were stolen, right? They were eaten up by a predator,
Uh,
but the
uh,
eggs were laid inside this only.
this only. So maybe the sea anemone was not good. I haven't seen that movie in quite some time. Now I
It's
have this.
been 12 years, I think, for me.
Even for me, yeah, I've never seen it. Okay, I've not seen it ever since. Acha, chalo. The
Yeah.
fish gets protection from the predators, which stay away from the stinging tentacles. The anemone does not appear to derive any benefit by hosting the clownfish, nor does it derive any kind of harm. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So we will keep it till thing only, commensalism only. We have mutualism to discuss, and then we are.
Ma'am, orchids are not mutualism, right?
No,
This is like
orchids,
mimic
orchids are cheats. They're cheaters.
cheats, yeah. Yeah.
They do sexual deceit. So we'll see that.
Yeah. So it does, but how does it come under mutualism?
No, it doesn't come under.
But like it comes under the category of mutualism.
See, this is a phenomena that, like you would think, because the orchid is utilizing the bee to do the pollination purpose. But again, the bee is not deriving anything if the bee is getting food. That is why maybe they've put it under that mutualistic thing, but again, not mutualism at
Then
all.
it should come under communalism. I
Ah,
mean,
it should come under that only.
communalism. Ah, who cares?
Okay. So we'll keep
Yes,
it
ma'am.
till here only. We'll continue in the next. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Take care.
Most welcome.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum Assalam. You also take care.